Check out my friend Lee's boxing channel.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out the video. Now, this video today is going to be talking about Anthony Joshua versus Charles Martin, taking place over in the UK. Tickets sold out in 90 seconds for this fight. Goes to show you the type of draw that Anthony Joshua is over in the UK. UK fans, once again, proving they're the best in the world, selling out this quickly for this fight. Outstanding. And you have to keep in mind that Charles Martin is the guy who's very unknown in the boxing community, really. And I want to kind of get into what he brings to the table in this fight. Very limited footage of him on the internet. But let's get right into Charles Martin and what he presents to Anthony Joshua in this fight. Now, looking back on the limited footage that I did see of Charles Martin, this is a guy who is a southpaw. He's awkward. He's a guy who likes to use his jab strictly for a rangefinder. His straight is one of his better punches. He's a guy, in my opinion, that once he gets warmed up in the middle rounds, he starts unleashing a better variety and more combination punches. As a fighter, he's a guy, physically very big man, seems to have some good power. And of course, in his last fight, it was a very controversial fight between him and Glazkov. Glazkov got hurt. Ultimately, Charles Martin and Anthony Joshua will be fighting for the IBF title in this fight. So that's an interesting thing to put in the storyline. Now, when we look at Anthony Joshua and his last fight, very, very good fight between Dillian Whyte. I thought that was one of the better heavyweight fights I've seen in a long time, in my opinion. And when you look at Anthony Joshua on that fight, I ultimately thought a lot of people were tuning into him for their first time. And I did not think that was one of the better performances by Anthony Joshua. You have to give Dillian Whyte a lot of credit. He got into Anthony Joshua's head, I believe. They have a history between each other. In my opinion, some things that I noticed from the Anthony Joshua fight, he was loading up on his punches a lot more than usual. His jab, he was almost non-existent, and he has a very good jab, Anthony Joshua, when he uses that. So I think that in this performance, we're going to see the Anthony Joshua of old, a calm and composed Anthony Joshua, and that versus Dillian Whyte, it was a lot of animosity and built up for years. And these guys really went at it like a street fight. So I think that Anthony Joshua is going to have a different mindset, in my opinion, for this fight. Now, when you look at some of the skills that Anthony Joshua brings to the table in this fight, he's athletic, he has power, he's got good hand speed, he has uppercuts, left hook, right hand. Very good at landing combinations and a variety of punches when he has his opponent on the ropes. That's one thing that makes him very successful. And ultimately, in the last performance, he showed some heart in that fight and overcame adversity because Dillian Whyte rocked him early in that fight. He ended up keeping composed, didn't hit the canvas, ended up stopping Dillian Whyte later in that fight. And like I said, credit to both of those guys. I really enjoyed that fight. I'd like to see what's next for Dillian Whyte after that performance. So yeah, credit to both of those guys. I really enjoyed that fight. Now, ultimately, who am I picking in this matchup? I am going to come out and say I've been a fan of Anthony Joshua. I think that he has a lot of good skills. I've been very high on his talent. So I believe he is going to take this fight. And a couple of reasons why I'm picking Anthony Joshua for this matchup is that I believe Anthony Joshua, he holds the speed advantage, both foot speed, hand speed. I also believe he's a more technical fighter of the two. He throws straighter punches. I believe his weapons are better than Charles Martin's weapons in this fight in terms of that Anthony Joshua's right hand is a better money punch than Charles Martin's straight left. Ultimately, in this fight, I also believe that if you watch Charles Martin fight, he has his chin way up in the air. That's going to be a huge problem against a puncher like Anthony Joshua, who is also a very big man. So ultimately, those are some reasons why I'm picking Anthony Joshua to win this fight by a stoppage. I'm going to say about the mid rounds, 6 or 7 rounds. A key for Anthony Joshua in this fight, in my opinion, he's got to use his jab a lot more than he's done. Also, I believe that he has to come out and make a statement early in this fight because, as I was saying, Charles Martin, he becomes better as the fight goes on. So if you're Anthony Joshua, you really want to get him off his game early and take him out, or at least make him hesitant to throw by using your power punches that Anthony Joshua possesses. Um, in Charles Martin's favor, though, in this fight, I will say he is a very awkward fighter. Definitely one of the best guys Anthony Joshua has fought in his career. He's also a big guy who can punch, and we saw Anthony Joshua was hurt in his last fight, so that's something to keep your eye on in this matchup. Also, Anthony Joshua is fighting a southpaw in this fight. Um, so yeah, it's something interesting style matchup in my opinion between these two guys. But I'm gonna take Joshua simply because I believe he has more skills in this fight. Also, a huge reasoning picking Anthony Joshua as well, in my opinion, that helps really validate my pick and gives me more belief in it is the fight is over in the UK. So there's two things going against Charles Martin right away. Number one, the judges. If it's a close fight, it's going to go to Anthony Joshua. We've seen this in the sport of boxing over a number of years. Also, that reception in that arena is going to be something electric that cannot be prepared for in the United States. Charles Martin has never seen this before. When he gets into this venue, he seems like a very calm and collected guy. But when he gets into that venue, I don't care who you are, I think that he's going to be in for a shock. Mentally, it's going to kind of take him a little while to get going in that type of arena and that type of atmosphere. So Anthony Joshua's got a lot of things in his advantage in this matchup, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think on the fight. Give me a prediction, guys, who you got winning this matchup. What do you think of the fight? And ultimately, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this matchup. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, guys. Thank you very much, and appreciate you tuning in once again. Thank you.